Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us from the comfort of your own home. It's a little bit surreal to be moderating a session like this because usually when we do a talk, I get to look at your faces. I get to see when you raise your hands up or if you look really confused, so I know how to change the direction of the session. So right now, all we can do is rely on the little chat that I'll try and toggle to as I look at your faces, the screen that's sharing, and the chat window. So please bear with us if sometimes the response is a little bit laggy. As Meg mentioned, we will have time for questions at the end. But we'll see how things go, and it might take, and we might be able to take questions in the middle of the session too. Hi, Luca. Hi, Alex. We'll begin. I'm very excited to be giving an introduction to Reimena. She's written a number of web comics, and she's got 2 comics being published. Yes, being published soon. She's been nominated for the Best Digital Comic Eisner Award in 2018. So if you don't know, the Eisner Award is like the Oscar for comics. She got nominated for The Carpet Merchant of Constantinia. It's the first Malaysian graphic novel ever to be nominated for the Eisner. So good job, Reimena. She's also the co-founder of Unnamed Asia, which is a collective for Southeast Asian comics. She's the author and illustrator of 2 webcomics, the one that I mentioned before, and The World in Deeper Inspection. You'll be able to read her webcomics online. The links will be put in the chat. She has a graphic novel forthcoming from Penguin Random House US called Seance Tea Party, which Kirkus Reviews calls a coming-of-age tale that is both comforting and wonderfully peculiar. She is the author of the just about to be launched The Makers Club. It's 2 days away from its launch date, and that's published by our amazing host, Difference Engine. Reimena's joining us from KL. So we'll say, hi, Reimena. Everyone can wave. We'll pretend that we can all see you. We'll be talking about what Reimena does as a comics creator. But first, we'd love to hear Reimena's origin story. So Reimena, please go ahead.
Okay, sure. So basically, I started out like most artists, like from a very young age. I've always been drawing and making storybooks. And I even started 2 newspaper comic strips from when I was 9 until 12. And the first one was like a newspaper strip thing called Colorfish, and the other one was a thing that I posted up on Neopets.com, which is like a virtual pet site. It's supposed to be taking care of like digital pets or whatever. But anyway, so that was my childhood days, and then I only started to think seriously about art and like being an improvement at craft when I was 13. But I wasn't really like dreaming to become an artist or something like that. I wanted to be like more like a prose writer, someone like Neil Gaiman, who wrote stories using words.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny actually, because like despite the fact that I had a knack for comics, I've been doing comics since like forever, I never made that connection that I could use comics, like the combination of pictures and words, to tell like these super grand, super amazing, super complex stories that I was like suddenly like feeling that I wanted to write, because like back then my exposure to comics was like from newspaper strips, like Garfield, and Archie's, and other like children's issue magazines. So it was really like basic. It was really, I mean, it's not bad, but it's like it was kind of like basic, and it was like really like simple. Everything had a punchline or something like that. So I didn't make the connection that I could like tell like I could build like words, and I could like explore deeper characters through comics. But I thought that way until I was 14, and that was when I discovered webcomics, which were basically like independent comics that were self-published and posted online. And it was through webcomics that I discovered that there were so many like comics that told like nuanced stories that had compelling characters, big words, like amazing visuals, and it was like things suddenly changed. And then I realized that comics has always been big enough, and it's so much more than that. It's always been big enough to tell like those stories that I wanted to tell. So once I realized that, I immediately like shifted my focus from writing short stories, writing unfinished novels into doing comics. And but still though, I still wasn't like I wasn't set on becoming a comics creator or writer or even an artist, because like this was when I was a teen, this was all like a side thing to me. Like it was something that I did while I was juggling my studies, like being a science student and going to science stream, and like getting straight A's in exams, and then like doing A levels and doing well enough to study overseas. But like telling stories and doing art was like this side thing. And then it was a very long time actually. It was like until it was only on my final year of uh, uni that I realized that everything that I've been doing, including the studying, has always been in the service of like telling stories. And it was a bit shocking to like come into this realization. But it was very like it was very freeing. It was very welcome, and I'm really lucky so that it actually worked out for me, because one thing at the time that I was worried about was that like changing my entire career to do comics would not be enough to like support me. But I've been very lucky so far in the past 2 years that that things have finally like come into place, and like I'm like doing this as a full-time thing now. And like yeah, I'm just really glad that I could finally like feel I could finally do the thing that I've always had passion for doing since I was a kid. And I feel like I'm more like myself now. And yeah, so this is this is my origin story.
Yeah, it's also a story of transformation and a change in perspective, right? Because you went from a science student, straight A's, to being an artist that some people deem as non-essential at the moment. But we can talk about that later on. But we must celebrate that it's been 10 years of you being a comics creator. Has it been 10 years?
Yeah, like seriously, like
Yeah, it's 10 years. So we may have some, the people in the audience may be already published comic creators, or they may be looking to embark upon this scary career. Would you like to share with us what you do daily, and how that impacts your work, or what your daily work life is like?
Oh, okay. So it's actually kind of boring. It's not as fun or like exciting as you would think, because what I tend to do like 70% of the time is like what looks like nothing, because so I wake up at like 10 a.m. and then I stay in bed. I check on Twitter, I check my emails, and then after that, I do one of two things. So the first thing that I do is I create. So that means I do the work, basically like I draw and I write and I do research and stuff. But the second thing that I do is that I take the time to consume art. And other things as well. So when I do that, I read books, I watch movies, I go to theater. Well, that was before the whole thing happened, and so I normally like do the creating or the consuming in the late morning or at night after dinner, and the afternoon and evenings are all like wild cards. So I can basically be doing anything or like completely nothing at all. And I end the day at 1 or 2 a.m. And eventually I end up like producing a book or an art. And that's how it happens.
Has your process changed now that you're home all the time?
No, it's actually it's sad actually, but it's the same. Yeah, because I always been working from home, and like the thing before COVID and all that, I was really looking forward to this year because I had 3 books coming out, so that means I had like lots of like events. I had a book tour to look forward to, and then I had a residency and like an appearance at a comics festival, but they all got like super totally trashed, and now I'm stuck at home again. And like the only thing that's been different is that because this is such a huge like global event and it's very stressful, it's makes it very difficult to like create. And sometimes I have to like remind myself that it's not, I don't always have to be like producing or like doing something like productive to society or whatever, because that's, I mean, I guess it's not exactly a healthy way to think. So I've become more like forgiving. I think myself, have breaks, and do basically more of nothing. Because rest is also essential to creating as well.
Oh, that's for certain. And you do have 3 books coming out. So, you know, you've been mighty productive. Just in case you missed it, the 3 books that Reimena has coming out is the Carpet Merchant of Constantinia. Is that right, the way that I said it?
Yeah.
And Seance Tea Party, which will be out in September, and the Makers Club, which is out in 2 days. So we've just left the screen share on because sometimes it lags a bit when we attempt to connect you. So Reimena's just left it on.
So this is the cover version.
Wow, it's hardcover some more.
Yeah.
So this was actually a web comic before it became published. Is that right?
This is the advanced copy, so it's not the actual book, but it's here. Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Would you like to talk? Oh, look at that. Oh, you already have a printed ARC. Sorry, I got excited. So I've only read the digital. So Hui Qing is sharing that you can get the hard copy of The Carpet Merchant of Constantinia from Unbound. It is one of the most gorgeous things she's owned, and I guess I will be purchasing a copy so that I also can own this gorgeous thing. The 2 other books are also available for pre-order. The links will be in the chat. But now that we've had a little bit of a taster of the gorgeous work that Reimena has produced, she's gonna be treating us to some insights to the making of the Makers Club. The Makers Club is a graphic novel that follows Nadia, who's an artist, Priya, who's a gamer. They are both reluctant teammates on a quest to build a video game to win the science fair in school. It's a graphic novel of friendship, family, and coding. It's received great reviews so far, and I can't wait for all of you to get a copy of your own so that you can enjoy it as I have. So Reimena's going to show us some of her process into making the Makers Club. So Reimena is a writer and also an illustrator. So for most of her comics, she's done both the artwork as well as the text. In the Makers Club, she did the text, and the lovely illustrator Tintin, who's actually also here, has done the artwork. So the process might be a little bit different. But Reimena is going to tell you all about it.
Okay. So the Makers Club is not my original idea, actually. My publisher, Difference Engine, first approached me with like the premise for 2 books in the series and like a cast of characters. So like basically my job as a writer was to like flesh out the idea into like a working story, and like using their concepts as a jumping off point, I made an outline, which is basically a summary of what I want the plot to be and what I want the characters to do. And after that, I gave that outline to my editor, Aditi, and we did a few back and forth for revisions. And when the outline was finally approved, I moved on to the script. Give me a sec. I'm trying to like screen share my screen.
That's okay. Take your time.
Yeah. It's not it. Okay. Anyway, I should just continue. So yeah, that's the outline actually.
Outline.
Can you see it? Yeah. So it's basically the outline. So like characters, and then the setting, and then like there's like chapters and like a description of the story that's in the chapter. So you have, I think there's like 7 chapters in the Makers Club. Oh, it's been a while since I did this. Anyway, yeah, so there's like 7 chapters, and I had like notes at the bottom from the editor about what they would like revise for the outline. And once we finally got the outline to be approved, we move on to the script. So this is the first draft of the Makers Club. And basically, the way I write, I prefer to focus on story progression and character dialogue. I don't really like do much art direction, like panel art or page layout, because those are normally things that are figured out in the thumbnail stage. And it takes a lot of brain power for me to like visualize the comic. So I would focus on getting the story and the dialogue like as perfect as possible before I invest in thinking about the art, which is the art is actually like the truest and most realized form of the story, because it's not the script, it's the art that makes the entire graphic novel. So anyway, I sent the script, this draft of the script to RTT, and we did like a few rounds of editing and revising. And I think the Makers Club Game On had like 5 drafts. But anyway, once this script was finally approved, we moved on to the thumbnails. So for book 1, Game On, I was the one who did thumbnails, and for the next book of the Makers Club, Tintin is the one who's doing it. But anyway, let me switch my screen again.
Thank you.
Yeah, because all my thumbnails are in my iPad, so I gotta like switch the screen.
So the Makers Club is actually a series of books. The first book, Game On, is the one that's out now. I think the Difference Engine team is working tirelessly to get the entire series out while getting all the other things ready, all the other publications that they have. Oh, there's your thumbnail.
Yeah, those are the thumbnails. So this had like 100. Oh my gosh, it's a little bit over 100 pages all inside this file. So yeah, this is like the whole list of it. And yeah, anyway,
Can we
like
ask
basically,
what
yeah,
software you
what
use?
oh, this is Procreate, for the iPad. Anyway, so what thumbnails are is that thumbnails are how we plan the layout of a comic book, like the placement of panels, the characters, the speech bubbles, and it's how we direct the story, you know, mood, cinematography, atmosphere, narrative devices. And usually I would do them like really small, only for myself. I can show you like the pre-thumbnails that I have for Maker's Club. It's like I'm switching to another thing. Normally I do these smaller thumbnails on like a notebook because it's easier for me to like scribble things that way. Normally I would do these like really small thumbnails until I do all the pages of the comic, and usually on my own projects I would just like move on to sketches. But because I was working with like a team, and I was working with an artist who's like person who thinks, who's not me, who can't see what I'm thinking. Yeah, so I had to like flesh them out more and make it more clearer. And so those were the thumbnails that you saw just now. These are the really small, really tiny, really sketchy thumbnails. You can't really see what's going on, but it's how it is. It's like 4 or 5 pages of this thing. Here you go, this thumbnails. And yeah, so anyway, so I'm going to switch to these clever ones. So the nice thing about this software is that it actually like logs in the number of hours that I'm actively drawing on the file. So like it does not count breaks or like procrastination or like distraction. So basically like just how long I had my pencil on the screen. So you can see that fleshing out these thumbnails, it took like, where is it? Yeah, so it took like 41 hours and 18 minutes to...
Just for thumbnails?
Yeah, just for thumbnails alone. Yeah, and it's actually even more time to like ink and pencil and like color the pages. But anyway, yeah, so 41 hours and 18 minutes for a little over 100 pages of the Makers Club.
Oh my goodness. And when you did Seance Tea Party, which is when you did the writing as well as the artwork,
Yeah.
that is an even more shocking amount of time. I remember when you first showed it to us, I made a very big note.
I mean, like, it's understandable because Seance Tea Party is 250 pages. So it's definitely going to take longer, but give me a sec. I'll switch to the file. Where is it? Okay. So this is the sketches for Seance Tea Party. It's a bit different, but anyway. Oh no, what did I do?
Oh yes, Claire has just reminded us in the comments that we will have some time for questions later. So please put your questions in the chat, and we'll have Reimena take the questions later on.
Cool. So
that's 154 hours.
Yeah. Yep. For 250 pages of sketches. Oh boy.
Yeah, what is the difference when you are the script writer or when you are producing something where you are both? I mean, besides the obvious thing of that you are doing the art if you are doing both. But when you're writing a script and you understand that you're handing off the artwork to someone else, are there different things that you pay attention to?
I mean, like, I try to be as clear as possible, but I don't know, because writing the Makers Club was actually my first time like being a writer solely and like handing off the script to an artist. So there was like some learning curves and all that. But like I try to do like thumbnails, like thumbnails, like clearer thumbnails to give to the artist, so Tintin could see like what I was trying to go for with the script. Because as I said earlier, the way I normally write a script is that I don't tend to do like art direction or like because for some comics creators, they tend to write their script like it's really detailed. So they will like have like panel 1, X and Y happens, X and Z character is here, and they are doing this, they're doing that, and here is speech bubble 1 on the left, speech bubble 2 at the bottom, and that's basically how a lot of comics creators write the script. But I don't do that. So it's a bit of a learning curve to try to write more detailed than I normally would. But I don't know. I guess I hope that it work out somehow. I mean, we already have the book published, so I guess it's fine. But
Yes, of course it's fine. It's more than
yeah.
fine. Also, were the characters as you pictured in your head? So I have some awesome bookmarks here. Let me see if I can hold it. Can you see? Yeah. So these are the characters of the Makers Club. This is Nadia. Was she how you pictured in your head? Did Tintin create Nadia and Priya in the way that you thought?
It's the character designs are actually like a combination of our ideas, but Tintin was the one who did character design magic. I think I can show you the original character designs for them, one from Tintin, one from me.
Oh yes,
let me
please.
switch. Yeah, let me switch the screen again.
And if you would like to hear from Tintin, she's doing a session also with Difference Engine on the 28th of June. I hope I got that right. She's going to be talking about from prose to comics, how words and pictures work together to tell a story. So you've heard Reimena today. You may want to listen, or you want to listen to Tintin on the 28th of June.
Yeah.
As we're waiting for Reimena, I'll answer a question that Yan Yan has posed to me, even though I'm just a moderator. Yan Yan has asked, she says, it is a whole lot more time and work with graphic projects, and often a larger team as well. Do the customers that you sell to have a sense of effort that goes into making graphic novels? Are they priced pretty much the same as non-graphic novels or more? So a few parts to this question. Graphic novels tend to be priced a bit more because they are printed color, nice glossy paper, which tends to weigh a bit more. So you have just the print cost is already higher. And then there is also, of course, a bigger team, right? Because you have editor, you have, is it called the person who does the lettering? You have the person who puts the color in, you have the artist, you have the script writer, or in case they might be two different people. But for kid lit, we still can't price it too much more. So maybe the difference is just $5 or $6 more for a graphic novel than a black and white, purely prose novel. I think, do customers that I sell to have a sense of the effort? I don't know. I think if you produce good work, all right, if it's done well, often the customer or the recipient cannot see the effort that has gone into it because it's so seamless. So they think it's very simple. There are no seams that stand out to make it look like there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and 154 hours into one thing. So no, I don't think customers care. If they don't know, they don't care. But Reimena is ready with her character drafts.
Yeah. So the first one was by Tintin, and the second one is by me. And so this is basically like the first the first pieces of artwork that we did for the Makers Club, designing the characters. And like Difference Engine like had like a whole list of like things they wanted to see. So it's really long list of like, I don't know, like features and things they would like to have in like the final character design. And after a bit of back and forth, Tintin managed to like land on like the perfect character design, and it's basically like what you see now in the final book. But yeah, it's a collaborative process.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I've
Mhm.
just been prompted that we need to move to Q&A. Sorry, guys, we've gotten carried away.
No, it's fine.
So let's move on to Q&A.
Mhm.
Quite a bit of questions. Wait, let me scroll through. Zaki has asked, hi Zaki, he's asked if it's easier to draw comics in Procreate rather than a PC or Mac.
For me personally, I've always done my final pages in Photoshop on the PC. Like I think Procreate to my process is actually a really recent thing. I've only been using it to do like concept art and thumbnails, but nothing more than that. I'm thinking of like trying out using Procreate to do my next graphic novel, but we will see. Yeah.
Another Procreate question is,
Mhm.
Procreate has a lower layer limit to bigger files. How do you tackle that?
So far, like most of the things I draw, I don't really like need to care about the layer limit. But I guess like when I move on to like doing like really big work on Procreate, I might have to like separate like a book into different files instead of like working on like a single file, which is what I would normally do. But yeah.
It's great, thank you. And I hope Zhen Leong has gotten the answer to the question that he or she has asked. There's quite a bit of curiosity about the editing process also. What is that like for you, and what happens if after you've laid out the stuff, all the text and the pictures, and then there's an editing suggestion?
Usually with comics, we try to avoid like making like big changes very late into the process. Normally, like all of the editing has to happen during the script and doing the thumbnails or the sketches, because once you move on to pencils and to inks, there's already so much effort and so much time and so much labor that has already been put in by the artist. It would be very inconvenient, and it would be very time and cost consuming to like suddenly like change like the whole thing. And because like even a minor, like it's not really a minor change, but even like a medium size change can like change the way that panels are laid out and how like pages are being read. So there's a lot of like cost involved in doing a major like story change during when the book is already in the artwork phase.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Let
is
me
it
just see
okay?
if there's another. Yes, that's lovely. Thank you. I guess that answers Hui Qing's question also about if you finish a thumbnail and are midway through coloring a page, but realize that you have a better layout idea. So I guess this is asking if you were your own editor.
Yeah, if you're your own editor, I think it's fine because it's you. You are the one who's imposing that label onto yourself. So like it's your choice whether or not you want to change. Because for the carpet merchant, I there were a lot of like layouts that I thought of when I was like actually like doing the sketch for the page itself. Like I will be drawing like the page, and then I realized, oh, it would be better if I put the panels on the left side of the page or on the right side, or if I change like the whole layout. So I'll just like do it, and it's always worked out for me. So like, I mean, as long as you feel like it's the best choice for you at the time, and you will actually like improve your story, then I guess it's worth making the decision. But if you're in the team, then it's different.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There's a great question from Yin Yin. She's wondering if you would be able to comment on the differences in the comics making and publishing scene. I guess you would be able to comment on not just Singapore and Malaysia. You could be able to comment on Southeast Asia as well as in the US. Do you see that there are particular genres that are hotter here or in Southeast Asia as compared to maybe the US or something like that?
Okay. I'm not sure if I can generalize, but I will try. So the genres that will be popular in Southeast Asia, they normally like web comics, and it's usually romance or slice of life or humor, because you see a lot of humor-based comics on Facebook and on social media. That's a really popular thing in Southeast Asia. And for like longer narratives, it's romance and it's slice of life done in like a manga style. But for the international market, especially one that is based in the US, the hottest thing right now in that market is middle grade, which is another word for children and the young adult as audience. So basically, you're writing like stories for children and for teenagers, and types of stories that are popular in this market would be fantasy, science fiction, autobiography, and yeah. So this that's the big thing right now, and a lot of major publishers are jumping into the bandwagon to like produce as many like graphic novels for kids and teenagers as fast as possible. And so that's the difference between like the market in Southeast Asia and the market in America and elsewhere.
Thank you. We only have 4 minutes left. The time has just flown by. We actually do have a few more questions, but perhaps if you like to spend more time with the creators, Tintin and Reimena, you can join us for the book launch that's happening on 12th July. You can sign up on the link that's in the chat. Reimena and Tintin will be talking about their new book with Difference Engine called The Makers Club. I'm going to try and show you the bookmarks again, because never have I done a pre-order campaign where there is so much swag that's going to be given out. If you place your order in the next 2 days, you will get bookmarks, downloadable and printable poster. You will also get get the book at a special price of $15. And you have access to interviews with gaming professionals. So it's very exciting. Pre-order link is in the chat. Yes, we love all the book swag too. When these bookmarks arrive in my office, I was very much excited. So you can get your own set of 5 bookmarks if you pre-order a copy of Reimena's The Makers Club. I must also tell you that there are lots of exciting programs that Difference Engine has planned. There's at the end of June, there is Tintin Session from Prose to Comics. There's a book launch that's happening on 12th July. And Comics for Climate Change that's going to be run by journalists Debbie Ng and Daryl Xiao. You can see the schedule there. It's also on the Difference Engine website, where you'll find really insightful interviews with comics creators and other people who are artists and absolutely essential on the website. So you can get a bit of insight into what they do. You might also find out why Difference Engine is called Difference Engine. That was a nice nugget of information that stuck with me. So I'll take the time to say thank you to Reimena and thank you to all of you. We hope to see you at the other sessions, and I'll give the time back to Meg.
Okay, thank you so much to both of you. It was a really lovely sharing session. And thanks to all our participants for joining us. We had a lot of great questions today, and we really hope that you took away something and had fun. So in a short while, we'll be having the lucky draw. So we'll be giving out 3 $10 vouchers from Closet Full of Books. Thank you, Denise. And if anyone does not want to participate in the lucky draw, please type opt out in the chat and we will remove you from the list of participants. So like Claire has mentioned in the chat, just type in opt out and then we will take your name away from the participants in the lucky draw. Okay, so I'll just give you guys a few minutes to like just do that. And while we're doing that, I'll just, talk more a bit about the launch events that we do have. Denise has already shared a lot, and the two that I'll be highlighting again is the one that we have this month, 2 weeks later, with Tintin, who is currently in our audience. So again, she will be sharing with us about how images and text can work together through a live sketching session, and also a lot of exercises that you can follow along with. And then our main event, which is the book launch, happens next month on 12th of July. So as you can see, it's in the afternoon on a Sunday, but we're really sure that, would love to have you guys down. It will be very exciting because you'll get to know more about the book and the characters, and both Tintin and Reimena will be sharing about what making creating the Makers Club means to them. Yes. And just be reminded that each of these sessions have different registration links, so you have to register separately for each event. And all of those details are in our website, so you can go and take a look. The link, Claire will be sharing it in the chat again, and we also will be including them in our follow-up email after this session. And if anyone wants to, go ahead and pre-order the print book right now, so we have a QR code over there, as you can see. And like Denise mentioned, not only do you get it at a special price of $15, but you also get all those little pretty bookmarks. They're like really, really pretty and cute. So you have one for each of the 5 main characters. And on top of that, you have so much like swag merchandise that you will get. So you can go ahead and take out your phones and scan the QR code. Or if not, you can head on to the link. So that's bit.ly/themakersclub1. So it's all smaller case. Okay, so these are apparently they are very case sensitive, and I just found that out. So yes, it's bit.ly/themakersclub1. Okay, so I think now everyone who wants to opt out has opted out. And if that's the case, I will pass the time on to Josephine, who will be handling the lucky draw. Yeah, okay. So yes.
Hi everybody. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to put everybody's name into this wheel here, and then we're going to spin the wheel. Okay, so the winner is going to get a $10 voucher from Closet to a Book. So that is Sheila. Okay, so we have one winner who's going to get a $10 voucher. Okay, so I'm going to remove her from the list, and again I'm going to spin the wheel. And we have Liani. Okay, congratulations, Liani. Okay, I'm going to remove her. And one last time, I'm going to spin this. Okay, congratulations to Leila. So that's the 3 winners for our lucky draw. And we'll email you the details of how to collect the book. So yes, we'll use the email that you have registered with, and we'll contact you through that. Okay, so now I'm going to pass the time back to Meg.
Okay, so yes, we've come to the end of our first event for the Makers Club digital launch. Once again, thank you to everyone for being here and making this like kick-starting our digital launch with a really fun session. Okay, so to our winners, again, we'll be contacting you through the email that you registered with us. So just look out for an email. And for everyone, we will be sending up a follow-up email with all the resources and the links that we did mention in this session. So all the links to our other events and closet full of books where you can pre-order everything. It will be in that email, so do look out for that. Once again, thank you to Denise and Reimena for being here with us and for giving us this amazing sharing session, especially on a Sunday afternoon. Thank you to everyone for coming from all over Southeast Asia. We really appreciated it. And the DE team would like to thank, we would really love to see you at our other events. Yes, so thank you for coming and hope we'll see you again. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.